All right. Welcome to the Wednesday night team call. We have Cynthia and Janice here. um, so I wanted to just start tonight's call with some recognition. I think Cynthia might have some recognition, or she'll introduce our guest speaker tonight. So my mom, I believe today hit Success Club 6. My sister signed up. And so this will be my mom's second month in a row to hit Success Club 5 or more. So I'm really excited and proud of her. She's not giving up. And then we have a newer coach that just hit Success Club 2. I think she's actually going to be Emerald tomorrow. She's been a challenger with us for a long time. It's Megan. She has 2 in the back office, but I think it'll be 4 tomorrow with a rank advancement of Emerald. And she brought on a couple of family members, so I'm excited for her to help her family. Arthenia is a coach that's been with us for a while, and she signed a new coach and is at 2. Jennifer Valdez was at -2 with me, and now she's at +2. Eunice is a newer coach as well. She hit Emerald, I think, last Thursday, and she's at Success Club 4. Brittany is at 2, and Elena Tessero is at 4, and right now she's at a rosary. Is that what they call it when someone passes away?
Mm-hmm.
A rosary. So I know she wasn't going to be able to make it on the call, but if we can just keep her in our thoughts and prayers for losing a family member or a friend of a family member that's close to her that she kind of knew as the young lady was growing up. So, all right, those are the shout outs I had for tonight for Success Club, but I also wanted to just recognize Mary. She is going through school, and she completed 80-day obsession, and she's already on round 2 with her and her coach Sylvia. They're on second round of 80-day obsession. Just wanted to give her a shout out if she watches the recording. All right, I'll hand it over to you, Cynthia.
Okay. My shout outs are going to go to Terry. She's been helping me. We started a sugar detox Monday, and she's really taken control, and she's posting and stuff. So she's really been a big help with the groups. She's added a few people in there, and they are already getting results with the sugar detox. We have a girl in our group that said that she had lost already 3 pounds with the sugar detox. Last week it was a free clean eating. This week is a sugar detox. So she's really, helped a lot doing that. My sister completed 80-day obsession, so she's got to post her results. She's got some really good results, and she being consistently posting, she's gotten a whole lot of people interested, messaging her. So she's gonna get there. And then Cynthia right here to the left of me, I don't know what side she is on you guys, but she's been a rock star coach. She's hosted her own groups for a while now. Her sister, she posted a before and after of her sister doing the high fat, low carb. So I know she's really helped her sister. She does meal preps for people on the side, as well as being a busy nurse, busy mom, softball, practice, games, all the above, but she still manages to make time to help others and help her family by meal prepping for her and her husband and keeping them on track too. So good job, Cynthia.
Thank you, ma'am.
So now Cynthia is my guest speaker for today because she's been doing awesome with her groups. And so I thought it would be neat if she could share with everybody what she's doing to get her groups to participate.
Awesome. Yay.
All right, guys. Well, my name is Cynthia. Thank you, Cynthia, for that welcome. And I just want to say shout out to your sister because she did have some awesome results.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
she did.
Cool dance moves at the end there. So Cynthia had asked me if I would talk a little bit about some key points on what I do in my challenge groups and things like that. So I took some notes on what I wanted to touch on. Anybody's welcome to ask me any questions and stop me because I don't like to hear myself talk constantly. So the first thing I do want to say is I keep my group small, and that doesn't, I think the most I've ever had in a group was 10, and not saying that that's a lot, but I don't really think, especially if you're new to running your own challenge group or if you're helping someone else run it for the first time, I think it's nice to keep your group small, just because if your challengers are posting the way they're supposed to, you get a lot of news feeds constantly, and sometimes someone's message or anything like that can get lost in the loop, and you don't want to ever make them feel like they weren't important or you couldn't get to them or it's overwhelming or too much. So I like to keep my group small. What I am going to work on now is whenever I say there is a deadline, you know, you have to sign up by this date so we can start on this date. I've been really lenient on a lot of people I know. You know, it has to do with when they get paid, or, you know, 2 weeks from now I can join, which is fine. But I've been letting a lot of people come into my groups late in the game. So then you know, I tell them if you're coming in late to backtrack and go and look up some stuff that I've already posted in. Either they get lost or they're just constantly asking me the same thing that I've already went over with other people. So I think what I'm going to start doing is strictly sticking to that deadline, whether I have my 3 to 5 people or not, and then just put them in my next group, because I think that'll help with, and everybody's different. I do a new group every time I do a challenge group. And the reason for that is because I don't want them to get lost in all that either. 80-day obsession was my biggest challenge groups ever. They just lasted the longest because it was 80 days. So adding people to that group that was already made, I don't want them to get confused on why all this was still there and they're just starting. So I don't want them to feel like they're being left out or anything like that. That was my biggest challenge, though. I did start 2 groups, one in January, one in February. And I feel like, especially if you're new to it, you should stick to either 21-day challenges or 30-day challenges and, you know, kind of go from there, because 80 days is a lot to keep up with, especially if you're adding new 80-day challengers every month in a new group. I've done both. I've done individualized challenge groups to where those that don't want to be on Facebook or don't have a Facebook account, I've used the My Challenge Tracker app to do that. But this month, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do, everybody can pick their own workout. So it's kind of individualized on that. They'll all still be in the same challenge group, but instead of it being just pertaining to 80-day obsession or anything like that, they can pick whatever workout works best for them. And they have a choice to follow that meal plan or the high fat, low carb, because that's still what I follow. So I share that with them as well. Let me see. So as soon as I always encourage them to sign up as soon as they can, depending on when they can and stuff. And the reason for that is because if I'm going to have a challenge group that starts at the end of the month, I want them to be able, as soon as they sign up, I put them in my group. Okay. And I do that because it gives them a chance to look at the nutrition guide. So I constantly post to that group already. Check out your nutrition guide, look at your workout calendar. That way it gives them a chance to kind of jot down what time slot they need to kind of go by in their day and what they need to see. You know, if it's 80-day obsession, it's going to be about an hour long. If it's 21-day fix, it's going to be 30 minutes. So I want them to learn how to already incorporate that in their day before they start the challenge. And I have them all basically jot it down with their goals. I'll help them write their meal plans out, depending on which one they need. And I'm just big on meal plans because I feel like it's, you know, 80-20, 80 in the kitchen, 20% workouts. Not that I don't want them to do their workouts every day, but I have them focus a lot on nutrition. And I think that's what gets them to their goals because they see results faster. So I just like meal planning. I think it just came naturally to me whenever I started working the business. So I do sit down with them and then we go over a grocery list and I basically make at least 7 days of a meal plan for them. And then they can just, you know, go from there. If they need my help for more, I help them. What else do I have? Another thing I do is I do prizes. I feel like it makes the challenge fun. Plus, I think it also helps them stay engaged. And it just basically pushes them to do their very best. I've done challenges to where I've given prizes at the end of each week for whatever they did good. Either they were the most consistent, they shared most of their meal plans, or they drank their shake 7 days out of the week, or they stuck to the workout calendar, they didn't miss a day. It can be anything that you want to make it fun for them. Or if they're already the ones that do good on working out every day, but they need help staying on track on nutrition, then I up the game and just be like, okay, well, we're already doing this workout, so who's going to be the one that stays on track every day with their nutrition? So it's just whatever you guys want to do. I just feel like giving prizes actually helps them stay accountable too, because they're going to want to show up every day. And that's what you want in your challenge groups. You want to encourage them to eat well and change their lifestyle and exercise, but you also want them to engage. Because what they don't realize is you can tell them constantly over and over and over that you're going to have this big support of fit family, but until they're engaged and actually see it and everybody comes together, they don't really know what that is until they actually see it. And my first 80-day obsession group, I think I had 12 challengers in there, and I want to say half of them fell off the wagon in like 4 weeks, and it's just those of the other ones that actually stayed, the other 6 that stayed consistent and kept going, they basically were their encouragement and said, where are you guys at? We're missing a few faces. And then that brought them back in the game. So sometimes it's not necessarily you that encourages and brings them back, but then they know that, oh, these other people are watching me too. So it's kind of like, I need to come back in. So we got, a couple of them back by 2 other people that didn't even know each other and just basically said, hey, Kayla, where are you at? We haven't seen you. Or hey, Jeanette, where are you at? We haven't seen you. And they came back in, and a lot of people, texted me like, well, I didn't realize people actually even knew I was in these groups. So I was like, yeah, that everybody sees who's in it. So I think it's just everybody else's support in there helps your challengers a lot, and it's just not you. So you're not alone in that. The 80-day of my first group, because I had such good results from a couple of people, I did give out a prize at the end that did the best out of the 80-day obsession. So you can even do things like that. I do want to say consistency is key in your challenge groups. I've done challenge groups before where I started it kind of 2 weeks into the game. I kind of fell off the wagon posting, but still expected them to show up. And of course they didn't, because they weren't seeing me in there. So if you're not basically having their back, then they're not going to give you 100%. So if you want 100% from them, you have to give them 100% as well. So I always say consistency is key. If you show up every day, they're going to see that on their newsfeed, and they're going to want to show up every day too. And your challengers expect that. If you tell them that you're going to get fitness and accountability and nutrition and support, then you better make sure you're giving them all those areas in what you're saying. Because you're not just trying to sell a challenge pack, you're trying to help them get to the next level and get to the next chapter and stuff like that. To touch base on that more, in church Sunday, we had a guest speaker. His name was Nick Billman. And if you've never heard of him, he basically talked about how to not get people comfortable where they're at right now, but get them to that next level that they've never been. And he says, you're not going to do that. It's like when Jesus healed that man that couldn't walk for like 38 years and he was on his mat. And that's basically what his town people gave him, oh, well, he can't walk, he can't move, so let's give him something comfortable to lay on. And he says, you don't want to give somebody, you don't want to make them comfortable in their situation now. You want to get them to do the impossible and move on. And that can be anything in their life. So he basically said, Jesus is like, pick up your mat and get out of here. He didn't just say, oh, let me fluff your pillow, or let me get you a blanket to make you comfortable. He basically said, I'm giving you this opportunity. You're healed now. So what are you going to do with it? You're going to use the tools that I give you. You're not going to go back to where you were. So, and that's what we want to do. We don't want to just make them comfortable. We want to enhance their life for them to get to the next level. And eventually, that one of your challengers can be your next emerald coach, your next diamond coach. If they see that in you and they see that you're constantly pushing them and motivating them, then they can see that, oh, this can make a change in my life as well, and go on. So also with engagement, you want to get the extra motivation. So don't just text things, you know, on the challenge group. Go live on your challenge groups. I went live at least once a week. Sometimes it was to talk about a certain topic, or sometimes it was just to be like, hey, you know, hi, what's up? How are you guys doing? It's Sunday, you know, are you doing self-care? What are you doing today? What's your goals for this week to push you to the next level? And I got a lot of feedback on that. And I just started that in January, going live in my groups, whether it was Saturday or Sunday, to where I had a little bit more time, and tell them when you're going to go live. So if you're going to go live, you know, I'm going to go live Saturday morning at 10 a.m. I hope to see you guys there. If not, watch the replay and give me your feedback. Then show up at 10 o'clock, you know, because some people actually, about 3 or 4 weeks into the group when I was doing that, I wasn't really getting a lot of people actually joining me live. And then after, you know, they started seeing that and knowing that I was coming on at that time, then I was getting like, you know, 2 people, 3 people. Then all of a sudden it was 7 people watching me live. So if you're consistent and you tell them when and where to meet you, then they're going to show up eventually. That way you don't get so many crickets in your challenge groups. There is nothing more frustrating when you're running a challenge group and you're constantly showing up and you have crickets in there, or they do good from the beginning and then they fall off the wagon. So going live helped me, I think, helped them see something instead of just a text, and was like, oh, okay, this is engagement, and I can actually, maybe I had a question for her and I didn't want to bother her or text her or whatever, so I can ask it on here. So that can also be something that you encourage. Always acknowledge your challengers on the smallest things to the biggest things, and do a shout out weekly. That's something that I do every week. Every Saturday, I always do a shout out to a specific challenger, and it can be on anything you want. It can be that they stuck to the workout calendar for the whole week, or they were able to do a full push-up when they couldn't even get down on the ground and do a push-up before, or they actually didn't max out until 10 minutes instead of maxing out at 2 minutes. So if you actually watch your challengers, encourage them to post in different areas where they're supposed to, whether it's a workout, nutrition, a goal they met, then shout out to them, because I know that I love to hear my name and shout outs if I think I'm doing right. And that's just human nature. Everybody likes that extra, you know, that extra push, that extra, oh, good job, pat on the back, high five, whatever it is. And then you also get your other challengers to engage in that, because then they're like, oh, way to go, congrats. So then they're getting all this feedback from everywhere else. And that just gives them that extra motivation to just be like, all right, well, I'm going to, you know, show myself up tomorrow and do something even better. And that just gets them to their goals. What else? Also, another thing, sometimes we don't know what we want to talk about in challenge groups. Sometimes we kind of get stuck on, okay, I don't really want to talk about Shakeology again, because I don't want to bother you with Shakeology constantly with the Shakeology posts. I don't want to talk about my workout today because you're doing the same workout as I'm doing, so you're probably tired of hearing, okay, today's leg day, it's happy Friday or something. So if you get stuck on what to say, utilize your challenge group tools in your back office. I do them all the time, but I change it up to where it's my own wording and not Autumn's or Shanti's or something, because I don't talk that way. And people know me, so if I post something, you know, I may say, okay, today's leg day, it's, you know, 15 reps of this, but then I'm going to put something in extra. You know, challenge yourself. What if you went, you know, a couple more reps, or if you still feel good after your workout and you have all this energy, you know, post like a motivational thing, or post a workout for you guys or something. So you don't have to follow every single wording on that, but if you get stuck on how to make it your own, then utilize those tools, because I use it for all my challenge groups, at least 4 out of 7 of the week. What else? Kind of rambling on.
You're doing great. Great tips.
Thank you. I think that's all I have. So just to recap, I kind of, like I said, I keep my group small. I give out prizes depending on how long the challenge is, whether it's a weekly thing or at the end thing.
What kind of prizes do you give?
I was going to ask that.
So I'll do motivational t-shirts sometimes that just have like a saying. I find them on Facebook all the time. They're not very expensive. You can also find them on Amazon. My favorite thing to give out is water bottles with something on their motivation or anything like that. I started doing hashtags for all my challenge groups. So it's the first one was like 80-day obsession, strive for the gap, or 80-day obsession. What was it? I forgot my other one. So I'll send them something like that, like you completed this challenge, hashtag strive for the gap. So I'll send them a water bottle with that hashtag on there. So it kind of reminds them, you know, what they went back to. The 80-day obsession, my first group, I actually didn't tell them what I was going to give them. I just told them at the end it would be a really good prize that you're going to want to work for. And that pushed at least 3 of my challengers to like get it and go and get great results. So my best challenger, I did give a Fitbit watch to, but that's the first time I've done that. And I found it on sale. So, so
sale's always good.
Or anything like that. But I give, I don't usually give big things like that. Sometimes I'll do entry gifts. So if, you know, we always say if you're the first 3 on my challenge group, you'll get this, or the first 5. So that kind of helps you get your Success Club points, but then it also encourages them to hurry up and sign up. And it's something small. Like I'll give them like a couple of packets for Energize or Hydrate or something like that. Or I'll give them, you know, ask them what Shakeology flavor did you order, and they'll tell me. So I'll give them a, you know, free Shakeology sample of a different flavor that they didn't try in case they wanted to alternate. What else have I done? Oh, I've done gift cards before. It can be anything basic, like a Walmart gift card, an Amazon gift card for like $15, $20 to, I did that for a 1-week prize for like the one that posted the most in my groups for that whole week. So whatever post it was, not just liking, but actually posting either them drinking their shake or doing a workout or something like that.
Okay.
But I probably won't do another Fitbit for like a year. That was like my big thing. But
And do you run all your challenge groups by yourself, or do you partner with anybody?
I run them by myself now. I used to run them with Cynthia, but I just do them on my own. What was happening was, I think when I was with somebody, and this, some people like to be partners to break up the work, but when I was partnering, I think what my thing was is I depended on her too much. So I knew if I didn't show up, she would pick up my slack, but then that wasn't getting me to the next level. So I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna have to do my own. That way I know I'm the only one that has to post, and if I don't show up, then they don't have anybody. So that's why I kind of went on my own. It was something that I needed to push myself to the next level.
Yeah, and I completely know what you're talking about, because I feel like when we're doing the 7 people, it's awesome to break it up, but sometimes I'm checked out until it's like my day again. Oh, it's my day again, and then I'm going back and seeing what was posted and what was said. Is there anything I need to, you know, talk about because maybe I missed something on someone else's? And so I'm at that point now too that I think maybe I need to do my next group by myself. You know, I feel like I want to, but then my personality says I can't. Like I don't want to, like, everybody that's helping me, I don't want them to feel like, oh great, now what am I going to do, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think about that for April 30th too, because we want to make sure that if we're asking them to be engaged, like you said, if we're asking them to be engaged, we have to be engaged. And it is so easy to not, I mean, I'm checking in, I could do the poll, you know, that's there every day. And sometimes I forget to do that too, you know? So, the next question I was going to ask you is, do you use a scheduler, or do you do everything manually right now since your groups are smaller?
I wish I knew how to use the schedule. I barely know how to work my phone, so.
Cynthia, Share is amazing.
Right, and I'm like, well, where do I?
So are you doing this all from your phone, or do you have a laptop?
No, I have a laptop, and basically after my workout, I come to my little room, do my post, and check out. So I do everything before I even get ready in the morning.
Okay, next question. How many times do you post per day?
I post once a day unless people respond to things, and then I will reply to them through my phone, like when I'm at work. But I do once a day on my challenge groups.
Okay, now is that like just a post, or is it do you have a check-in daily, or do they just use the group to check in throughout the day themselves?
So from the beta test group that we were in, I learned a lot from that, how they had different areas to post different categories. So on my actual news feed, I would just do my daily post. But when I created the group, I did to where they can post their meals, to where they can post their sweaty selfies, to where they can post like their water intake, general test questions, things like that. So I guess I do post more than once, because I'll post my meals under the, you know what I'm talking about, like the
Yep.
meal. And then of course I'll post my selfie or a motivational quote like under the
Okay,
selfies.
so do
I
you
get 3 times, but I do one general post for that day.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So the ones where they're checking in for their nutrition, and the one that they're checking in for their drink, their water, or their Shakeology. Now you just do that once a month, and they keep posting under the same one. They look for the same one every day, or is it a new one each week?
Nope, I use the same one for the whole month.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. That's why I was asking. Because that's a lot, you know. I'm sure the challengers sometimes might think, okay, we have the check-in, then we have like this informational post, and then we might have like a motivational post that day. So our beta test group, we post 3 to 4 times a day. So it's kind of nice to see, you know, how you're doing it, since you're running it by yourself, kind of giving us that sneak peek into what you're doing, you know. So that's cool.
Redirect them, just because I don't want so much on the news feed. That way they can find it easier. So sometimes you have to redirect them. And if they post like a sweaty selfie just generally on the news feed, I just be like, you know, of course I acknowledge them, and then I'm like, hey, but you know, remember where we're supposed to post, so someone else that posts in there can see your sweaty selfie also, and it doesn't get lost in the news feed.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to redirect them, and they're pretty good about it, and they're like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. So they're like, that's actually easier to find, and things like that. Same with the meal plans. And because they're constantly posting them daily, so if everybody posts in one of them daily, then it's constantly on your news feed. So you're seeing it pop up, and that'll remind them, oh, I need to post my sweaty selfie, or oh, I need to post my meal before I eat it.
Great. Okay, that's awesome. I had another question. It'll come to me here in just a second. Anybody else have any questions?
About the scheduler, there's ScentShare, but I don't know if you've noticed on Facebook, you can also schedule a post in a group. So yeah, right. So if you go to make your post, just go ahead and do the post. On the bottom right, there's like a little clock looking thing, like where it says post. You click right there and it'll let you schedule it. So Terry and my sister and Tiffany, we played with that yesterday to see how it would look. And so you click that, and then it lets you select the date and time that you want to post, and then you click schedule. And then you'll see it on your end, and it'll say one scheduled post. So then I was like, well, crap, I see it, but can they? And of course, all the other ladies, they weren't able to see it either. So we tested that out. So it's because you scheduled it, so you are going to see that it's scheduled to post, and the other challengers won't see that. And so if you forget, you know, you can always go in and schedule all your posts on a Sunday. And how you were saying, you know, go in and make up your own or whatever, schedule them all. That way, at least you have that specifically posted at the same time every single day. So they know to look for that at that certain time.
Oh, thanks for that. I'm going to do that, because that'll make it a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
I mean, there is times that I'm running late in the mornings, and I'm like, oh, I got to get a post in. And then I start thinking too much into it, and then time goes by, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is what they're going to get right now.
Yeah, that way if you do that post, you know, you don't have to focus on that, but you still can can get in the group and still motivate them, and you're still posting your sweaty selfies, like you said, and your meals and everything. But that's just one less thing you have to worry about posting.
First thing, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it allows you to tag them too, which I really like. So while I'm scheduling the post, I can go in and tag everyone's name.
Mm-hmm.
And so when it does post that day, they get a notification, and which you can't do through CyntShare or a third-party sharing tool. And you can even schedule the polls. I've been doing that with the poll check-in.
By the poll check-in.
Let's see, we started doing, it's kind of reminded me of the challenge tracker app, where it allows you to select that you had a Shakeology and select that you did your workout, and you can upload a picture with it. So what we've done, and I got this idea from another challenger, is it says, here's your check-in post, and you can add a little motivation. Some days it's like a worship song that I add to it, or a motivational video or something like that. And then underneath that, I create a poll, and each thing they can select each one. Instead of just choosing one or the other, like that kind of poll, they can choose more than one, right? So it's like, did you get your workout in today? Did you post your sweaty selfie today? Sometimes I change the wording up. Did we keep it grain-free, sugar-free, so I will get here. I see your question. I'm so squirrel. So each poll item is, did you drink your shake? Did you drink your water today? Did you do your devotional and prayer time today? And so that's how it is. And they can just check it throughout the day. It's just one post where they can just turn a poll into a check-in poll.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's a lot I need to learn, because I didn't even know you could do a poll.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same when you go to schedule, or when you go to make the post, then it tells you, like on the bottom, you select poll, and then it allows you to create it.
Yep. You can add a video. You can add a link. You could be, the only thing is you can't do it from your phone. That's the only thing, right? As of right now, you can't schedule from your phone or see your scheduled posts to edit them or anything like that from your phone. It has to be done through your computer. But so Joy says, I struggle with time management. This is a great tool. Yeah. And Cynthia, the tool that she's talking about, CyntShare, because Facebook finally allows you to do that. I haven't used CyntShare in this last month. I just noticed that. And I upgraded our Zoom so that we can go longer than 40 minutes. And I'm tempted to cancel my CyntShare. The only thing I loved about CyntShare is if you run multiple groups, that's how I run my sugar detox groups and my nutrition groups and my intermittent fasting groups, because all those posts are still there. They're just in there, and I can go and recycle them. All I have to do is click on the ones that I've done before, and I can reschedule it to post to a different group. All the wording is there, and the picture that I used in the last group is already there. All I have to do is open up a new Facebook group and auto-schedule them into the newest groups. So that's the only thing I love about CyntShare, because it keeps track of my history. So if you guys are running and you start to run more, and it really was beneficial whenever we had 3 months in a row where I ran intermittent fasting, nutrition class, and sugar detox. Like we ran 3 free groups that month, and then the next month, and then the next month. And so it was already there for me. That's what I love about CyntShare the most. But definitely it's free to do it from your Facebook. And so
you can schedule, you can do the polls, you can schedule and everything from your phone too.
Is it new? A new update?
Yeah. I don't know, but I can do it. You just go on your phone. I don't know if you can see, probably can't, but you go, like if you're going to create a post, you can't see it.
No.
Anyways, the first one says poll. So it says ask a question, and then it gives you the option. And then right under it says schedule. Right under your name, the name of the group, it says schedule, and then you schedule it from there. So you can do it all from your phone too.
Okay. Do you have an iPhone?
No.
Okay.
Android.
It's not working on an iPhone.
I have an iPhone too. I can't find it.
Oh, it must just be an Android thing.
That'll be a first. That's absolutely the first time Android's ever come out with something cool first. I don't like you right now. Okay, cool. So that's good to know. It'll probably be rolling out soon. Hopefully for iPhone users.
Okay, there's the poll.
Yeah,
you see the poll, but do you see the schedule? I can see the poll. I just can't see it right.
It's your name. Okay, it has your name, and under your name, it has your group name, and right under that, it says schedule.
On poll? Under poll?
Yeah, watch. I wish you could see this. Okay, can you
There.
see? Okay, there's poll right there.
Uh-huh.
Can you see their schedule right there?
Okay, that's mine does not have that.
Oh, me either. Well, wait, let me see if I'll go into one of my groups.
Yes, go into your group. It has to be in your group, not on your personal.
Okay.
Yeah, mine says Janice and then the team name, and then I see nope. Just giving me the settings for what type of poll.
Yeah, ask a poll option. Yeah, there's no schedule.
Oh, darn. See what you get for going to the iPhone site, Cynthia. Didn't you have an Android?
I did. Yeah, so hopefully that'll help. Yeah, and I know, Joy, you also have your makeup business too, and so you can definitely use those tools for that. Scheduling just little tips of the day or something like that, so you don't have to feel it. A lot of people think, oh my gosh, you're on social media all the time. Well, yeah, a lot of them are scheduled. I'm not really on there, so and my thing is like what Cynthia F was talking about was, sitting down on a Sunday and scheduling them. Well, sometimes like I'm just really creative and I can't post everything that's in my head all in one day, which sometimes you can tell when I'm having one of those days because I'll post more than a couple because it's just like on my heart. So I try to remind myself, just schedule that for another day. Just push it out and make your content last a little longer, especially like after church on Sundays or discipleship class, like my head's just going. So just to kind of bullet point those little things that you might learn and just spread it out throughout the week, encouraging, motivation, scriptural, or, like stuff you're learning from a book that you're reading, a personal development book even, and just use those as a way to schedule out posts throughout the week. So.
Yeah. And get out of your comfort zones, that's where we all want to stay in, and that's not going to get us to our next level. So that's why I said I had to get out of my comfort zone and being with a partner and just do it on my own. And you surprise yourself because I didn't think that I was going to even
I was the opposite. I ran free groups by myself for so long that the comfort zone for me was creating a way to help 7 people run a group. Like that made me get out of my comfort zone to organize stuff. I mean, I was like, help me organize this mess. Like it's just so frustrating for me, but it made me be more organized in other areas of my business. So you're right. That comfort zone that you get into, it's amazing what you learn when you step out of it. Even if it's not in the area you thought you're growing in, it's like something totally different that comes up through that struggle or whatever. So very true.
And another thing, don't, I think we know so much about the business or about these challenge groups that we have so much knowledge, but we don't know how to share it all at once. So then we just don't share it. And just remember that most of the people that you bring in, whether you bring in, repeats or anything, a lot of them are new. So they don't know basically anything. So don't feel like you don't want to overwhelm them, of course, with a whole bunch of knowledge, but don't be opposed to, sharing the very beginning or easy tips on Shakeology or how to make a shake, because sometimes they need that kind of help there. Another thing that came to mind is they were talking about in churches, they were saying everybody knows so much about, or feels like they know so much about religion, but yet they hold it in and they don't want to share the word. So he basically called it, you're spiritually constipated because you're holding it all in, like for yourself, and you don't want to share it. So it's the same thing with their Beachbody. Just like Danielle and Tony said, if you guys are in the Diamond, what is it called? Diamond Code 2.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. She's like, you want to basically talk about, get people in the business and stuff, and whether you're sharing it constantly or not, if they don't want to hear it or they don't like it, they can simply unfollow you, and you're not going to want those people in your group anyway. So don't be over, how do you say it? I don't know how to say it. Don't build in all this knowledge and draw all these things out and not use it. I was one of those that I constantly took notes on any group I was in. I did nothing with it. it just basically stayed in my binder, and I just went on with my day. And now I'm going back to them and reading. And I'm like, huh, I never even shared any of those thoughts from the beginning. And, you know, you can be missing somebody on your next challenge or joining your team or anything like that. So don't be constipated.
Oh, that is going to be like team call hashtag don't be constipated.
Don't hold it in anymore. Let it out.
Love it. Love it. You did awesome.
Thank you.
I wanted to get, go ahead.
It's going to be that way. So it's whatever.
Say that one more time. I'm sorry. I talked over you.
I said I have problems with words, but I've always been that way. So whatever.
Yeah, we all do. I think we all overthink it more than anything. Like sometimes I just can't think of anything to say, and other times I have way too many words.
Mm-hmm.
Like vomit, you know, and my post is like this long. I'm like, what can I delete? How many times are you going to say very or awesome or, you know, or so, yeah. I mean, we all struggle with that. And I find so much inspiration from other things, even if it's not another Beachbody coach, but they own a business, and the way they are, the words that they use that are so visual. I'm like, if they're capturing my attention visually, I need to do that. So even just pulling a thesaurus out, I've been learning to do that with the boys because I homeschool. And it's amazing, like when they're writing something, how simple those words are that they're using. I'm like, okay, let's liven this up and I'm learning like to use different words in my posts to make it come alive a little bit. Because like you said, video is much, much better. But even if I was to say those words, and I was going to say that too, something I learned, which we all know this, but it's so simple, I forget to do it. Mm-hmm. When you have a post, even if it's in your challenge group or even if it's on your wall, you can take the post and then do a live video on it too, because some people will read and some people will watch, and you'll capture two different audiences, and you might catch the same person on both, but they're your tribe anyway, and they'll listen and read your story 100 times as long as you're posting it. You'll have those people that just love hearing your story, and then other people, they might not see the post, they might just scroll by it if it's words. If it's a video, other people might like, I don't got time for that. So you create the content. When you're talking time management, Shalene Johnson's like the guru of that. She'll do one live video, she'll transcribe it into a blog post, then she'll break that blog post down into tweets, and then she'll take a couple other ones and make them into a picture graphic with a quote on them. Like you could take one video and do all of that with, and I think Fiverr, like for $5, they probably can break that down. I don't know. I think even YouTube might transcribe now. So if you can just get it into words, then you can do the copy pasting yourself, you know, and then schedule it. So I need to do more of that. Because I'm the same way, like, especially with homeschooling, I got to find ways to maximize my time and make the most use out of good content. Sometimes when we go live, we just say some of the most awesomest things, which we think it's normal. Like what you were saying earlier is you have all this information and you don't share it because sometimes we just feel like we've already shared that before. We've already said that before. What's new that I can say? But a very small percentage saw it the first time. So just say it again.
If you're, you know, friending people constantly like you're supposed to, whoever you friended this week, you know, the new 15 people that you did, they didn't see your post go, you know, and unless they're stalkers, they're not going to go through your post and just freaking look at everything you just said and did and who you are.
I actually do that to people that I really love. Like if I go to Pinterest and I find someone that's really like, I just started doing that. I don't love Pinterest, but I'm looking for colors and like branding, trying to brand myself. So I found some people that I really liked, and I found them on Facebook, and they're like photographers and all of that. So it's like not even my same niche market, but I'm like, what was I going to say? Oh, I'll scroll through their page and I'm like, they're just repeating the same quote. Like 3 months ago, this is the same content. They just repurposed it. And sometimes, but very rarely, is it even a different picture with different font. Like, it's the same quotes. It's like their brand, their quotes, what they say, and they just repeat it. And I'm like,
well, and it makes sense because what they've taught us is if you have all this, you know, prettiness and stuff, but you're not sticking to who you are, and they're just seeing random things, they're not really going to relate to you. But if you're constantly posting something and just tweaking it a little bit, then they're remembering you.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to come back and be like, oh, that's something that I liked about her when I seen it before, and she's bringing it back again. So
yeah, I'm hoping if you guys didn't have a chance to watch Catherine, I can't remember. I know she did a call on it, the branding stuff. I'm really excited to finish that. I picked out some colors, and what she does is she has you go on Pinterest, and she makes you look up fonts that you really, really love, and look up colors that you really, really love. And then there's another little test that she had posted in the team page where it will kind of narrow it down to what type of personality you are and what kind of colors go with that personality, and words, like if you're, like passion, or I can't even remember it all because I'm not good at the details, but I like the visual because then it broke it down for me. And if you guys haven't done that, I highly suggest that, because what you're saying right there, you can do the same thing inside a group and make yourself a whole lot. When they come there, they get the same experience. And Chris is going for a job, and that's one thing I notice is that they're creating an experience for these golfers that are coming in, right? And when they come to that golf course, it's that experience. And yeah, all golf courses play golf, right? So all of our challenge groups are going to work, but what experience are they going to take away from that? And we want them to leave with a good experience. And sometimes for a lot of people, especially for me, I'm visual. And so if we can visually be pleasing to the eye, I think that's where these top coaches stand out. If I look at anything that I'm doing, Joy, you're more than welcome to. Okay. You could always unmute yourself, love. You can talk anytime. Joy, is this the first team call, Joy, right? Yes. Okay, cool. Terry, did you have anything you wanted to say, girl? I'll talk your ear off. It's not even my call.
No, I don't have anything to add. Constipated. I'm working on it.
That's going to be the new hashtag. What did you say the first time, like Christians are what? Religiously constipated?
Spiritually constipated.
Spiritually constipated. Way better. Okay. Spiritually constipated.
Sometimes when you're in church and you're thinking, oh, they're just talking about this, that. No, you can apply that to any aspect in your life.
Yeah.
Your beach business, anything like that. So you can be so filled with all this knowledge, but unless you're sharing it, you're basically not doing anything for yourself. You're holding yourself back.
Yeah.
They made it a point where everybody's a sucker to try to cheat the system. So what we basically want to do is we think that if we just run a challenge group and everything like that, and I'm guilty of it. If I run a challenge group and get challengers, that my business is going to go forward. And no, it's not. It's not going to go anywhere, So don't try to find an easy way, and just basically share your knowledge. And that's all this business is. If you really think about it and you just kind of break it down, it's not anything that is hard. Yeah, it takes work because it takes your time. And when we think as humans is, oh my God, it's taking me time, then we're thinking, oh my God, it's taking so much of our time that it's hard work. Well, you have to put time into something, of course, for it to go further. And then in the end, just like Melissa and McAllister says, all that hard work you put in, eventually 3-5 years down the road, you can kind of back up from that. Not that you're going to stop running your business, but you don't have to do so much work because you already have built that.
Absolutely agree with that.
Don't try to cheat the system, and just do your hard work and you'll get there.
Yeah. So true. And I'm glad that you shared about why you pulled away and did a challenge group by yourself, because I think my personality, it wants to include everyone. I don't want anyone left out. I don't want anyone feeling alone, but I have to remember that there are going to be challengers out there that that's not their favorite place to be, or that's not where they grow the best, or that's not where they learn the best, so everyone learns different and does business different, and this is our own personal business. So I'm thankful that you shared that on the call tonight, because I think people listening back, if they're feeling the same way that I am in that 7-day group, in the challenge groups where we have 7 people, Cynthia felt good enough to say, hey, I can't, my husband just walked in the door on a call. But, Cynthia came to me and said, I don't have anyone in that group. I need to pull myself out. And they can feel comfortable doing that. Not that they're letting the team down or
Hang on just a second.
Is that Grandpa?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I'm here.
It's just funny. He's got him on speaker as loud as he possibly can. He's my 90-year-old grandpa. So he's really loud. Okay. So what was I saying? Yeah.
About me dropping out of the group because it was too much at the time. I was just in so many different groups, and how Janice was talking about how you feel like you find yourself only going in on that day that you're going to post. That's what I was doing. I wasn't participating not whatsoever because I had other groups of my own that I was trying to do. And then when it came to my day, I was like, oh crap, I haven't even scheduled anything, or I haven't. So then there I was just posting just to get my post in, but still not going back in and engaging with everybody else in that post.
Yeah, and it's a good learning experience. This is like our third or fourth time doing it. Third time. Yeah. So I mean, it was a good experience, and it was changing it up. And I think that's another thing is you want to try new things and create new ways of doing things. And when you feel like you get in a rut all by yourself, teaming up with one other person or two people might help get out of a rut. And other times you need to get out of your rut to do it by yourself. So that's cool.
But the good thing about all that also was that Janice and I forgot who else had worked on your mom. I know your mom worked on a lot of it, but putting it all together in a document. So all we were having to do really was going into that Google Doc and copying, make it your own, whatever, put your, whatever you're going to post on that day. So we already knew what to post about. And if you want to go in and do your own group, like she has that template there for you to follow. So you don't feel like, okay, what am I going to do? Like I'm on my own now. What am I going to do? It's kind of like using the My Challenge Tracker, the challenge group guide. We have that guide for like a high fat, low carb group. So I'm thankful for that.
Yeah, we did. It was nice to work together to pull that all in, because what we did originally was we were all in the beta test group, and we said, let's take what we've learned from the beta test group and pass that on. And so, and that's, I think, the first time you ever do anything. And as a new coach coming in, if you're listening to this, Joy and Terry, when you first run your first challenge group, sometimes there's like this just one group that just stands out and blows everybody out of the water. Like it's so awesome. The engagement's there. People are sending in before and after pictures, and people are sharing on their Facebook wall how awesome everything is. And then the very next group could be crickets. And you're like, what am I doing wrong? And you're posting the same thing, and it's up the ebbs and flows of social media and challenge groups and business and life. So never think that there's something wrong with what you're doing. That does not necessarily reflect on you when you don't have the engagement that you're looking for. And as a new coach, that's really, really hard. And as a vet coach, with Cynthia and Cynthia, they've been running challenge groups for a really long time. And I have too. And so we've been running a challenge group every single month since we've been in this business 3, 4, 5 years, right? And so it can be, you can lose the love for challenge groups very easily if you don't stay engage yourself or finding new things that what's new and exciting for you, share that in the group, so anytime you can, whatever it takes just to bring some new love. And that's why I love my ongoing group, only because I can create a new theme for it every month. That's how my mind works. I'm like, oh, this month my mind's already over here onto relaxing. Okay, so this month we're going to talk about relaxing, and this month is about it's summertime and whatever, just like so however it works best for you, because Cynthia's running one new group every month. Some people run ongoing challenge groups, and we go back. Sometimes I flip-flop. Now I'm doing a new high-fat, low-carb group every month, and transferring people to my Healthy Plus Obsessed group as they graduate. So always be flexible with challenge groups. But those are awesome tips and great reminders, too, for some of us that might be running groups for a really long time. I took notes. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Cynthia.
You're welcome.
Yeah. All right. Anything else, ladies?
That's not good business practice.
I saw your chat, Joy. Joy wanted to make sure that she was tagged in the branding, and that one was the one what I was saying, Catherine. About the different colors? Okay, yeah, that's in our team page, so I'll make sure that I get that with you. I think she'll probably do another brainstorming session. I think I was the only one that was able to make it the time that she did schedule one on a Friday. I think it was a couple of weekends ago. And all it was is she's asking us questions. Okay, what about this? Now go on Pinterest and find that. So it's like a working session. So if anybody wants another one of those, maybe we can tag Kat in something and just like, hey, when are you free next? And she's doing really good in her business. And so she's just sharing everything she learned with her dog walking business on how she branded that and how we can take everything she's done for that and use the same exact thing for our business. And even maybe for your, I know you do meal prep on the side too. So any little side business that you guys are doing, you guys can learn it in one area and use it in both. You know, maybe I know Joy helps at her church. So make sure that if you guys are learning stuff about social media and training and leadership and all of that stuff that you're learning here, apply it there. And vice versa, whatever you're learning at church, like Cynthia did, whatever you're learning at church in those leadership, discipleship class, pull it into your business. They are, it's amazing how parallel they run, health, fitness, business, and how God orchestrated it all, because it's all in the Bible first. We are not learning anything or saying anything new, right? It's all there. So, all right, Cynthia, did you want to close us up tonight with anything?
No, I just want to thank Cynthia again for hosting the call and for your awesome tips, especially with the prizes, because that's a lot of, like, I like that you don't just incorporate just a Beachbody thing. Like, could be anything. It doesn't have to be something from Beachbody. So.
It doesn't even have to be fitness. You know, it can be anything. Like I said, the gift cards work and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to give them a gift card to like Domino's or anything, but
that's a good idea. I just want to, and also say thank you guys for leading calls. Cynthia, you've been leading calls. Cynthia, both of you. I'm just going to say both of you have stepped up to lead calls. So we're going to have to get Terry on here next month, right?
Terry's doing awesome. Yes, she is.
Oh, I heard all about you. You missed the shout outs at the very beginning. You came on late, so you have to watch the beginning recording. And Joy's a new coach. She's been with us for a while, and then she just said, you know what, I'm going to just take this plunge. And so I'm excited that you're able to make the call tonight, your very first team call.
Yay.
All right. All right, I'll tag you in that, and I will let you guys go. Have a wonderful Wednesday night, and I'll get the recording up into the group.
Bye, ladies.
Bye.